We will be demonstrating the installation of our pneumatic air sensor that goes onto trucks with air suspension. It's one sensor per axle group. You simply tee into the lines that run between the airbags with standard DOT fittings, using a T to tee into the line it runs, and mount the sensor anywhere on the truck. It's a very simple installation that can be done in 10 to 15 minutes. Secondly, we'll be showing you the installation of our mechanical strain gauge for mechanical suspension systems. This goes on the axle. It's one per axle, and I'll be showing you how this is installed on various types of rigs. Installation typically for each one of these will take a couple of hours. I'll also be demonstrating the use of our handheld receiver, which receives from air and mechanical or any combination thereof. I'll be showing you the use of this and how this is installed on various types of rigs. Welcome to Truckweight. I'm going to demonstrate the installation of the air sensor. The air sensor will come much like this. You'll notice that each sensor has a unique number on the front of it that will enter into the handheld. There will be a separate handheld tutorial to show you the handheld operations. When the sensor arrives, it takes two AA batteries in here, lithiums, that'll last for approximately a year. There's a threaded hole here for the air fitting, the DOT air fitting. It's a standard fitting. If you order the kit, it comes standard with the kit. The fitting simply screws into the hole like so. Firmly tighten it up. You can put some sealant in here. Do not over tighten this, because it is possible to strip the threads on here. It should be tight enough so that the air doesn't leak. Placing the batteries in the battery compartment. You'll take note of the orientation with the positive and the negative going to the appropriate sides. Make sure the battery's properly fitted in there. You can sometimes have it tight so that the battery is not properly pressing up against the end. So make certain that the battery is properly inserted into the chamber. With the batteries in, we will then enter the sensor number into the handheld to make certain that the handheld is communicating with the sensor. The sensor will transmit the signal, the handheld will receive the signal, and you'll see a reading in the top right hand screen of the handheld. It will read all stars initially, and when the signal checks in, you will see a reading of either pressure or temperature in the top right hand corner. If it's strain gauges, you will see a strain gauge reading, but you will not see any temperature reading in the top right hand corner. Putting the cap on properly is essential. Failing to put the cap on properly will result in water leakage, which will eventually disable your sensor. You will use a flathead screwdriver and firmly tighten down the screws. You will tighten them diagonally and then this way here, back and forth, making certain that they're not over tightened, that you snap the heads off the screws. So you want them firm, but you do not want to over tighten them. You'll see the cap get squashed to the sides as you tighten that down. The most essential part is with a screwdriver, all the screws should be equally tightened. When mounting the sensor, you can choose any location on the truck, providing you're getting the signal from the sensor in the cab or from any other area you want to use the handheld. It may be a loader or it may be on a crane and so forth. Check that you're receiving the signal from the locations that you want to receive the signal prior to permanently mounting the sensor. When mounting the sensor, there'll be a bolt supplied, or you can use one of your old bolts with a nut, through here and attaching it to the surface. You can come through either hole or you can come through both. What's essential is that you put a spacer washer between this surface and the mounting surface so that it's slightly lifted off. And that's just so water can properly drain and that the gauge port on the back can measure atmospheric pressure. With the sensor mounted, you will then tee into the air line that runs between the airbags. Simply get a pair of snips and cut it to the line that runs between the airbags. Airbag here, airbag there, cut there. Or it could be a line coming in or out of any of the airbags. Make the cut, and then you'll insert the T on one end. You'll insert the other end, and then you'll cut a suitable length of Synflex tubing to run from where you've teed in to where the sensor is mounted, simply by connecting with a piece of Synflex tubing that's the suitable length. And that completes installation of an air sensor.